The topic that we're talking about today is failure never. Failure, never. Failure never. That's what we're talking about. When we deal with failure, it really is, to be honest with you, all about perspective. It's all about us understanding who we are, like us understanding our abilities. When we deal with confidence, confidence deals with what does confidence mean? What is the definition? Hello, everyone. The live is for motivational purposes only. Yes. You better say that, Juicy. Yeah, because it's about to get good. It's about to get good, right? Strap your seatbelts on, hold on to your chairs or wherever you sit. I'm telling you, right? Thank you, right? Yes, Juicy. Black Love, welcome. Okay, so we're talking about confidence. So confidence, what does confidence mean? Confidence, the definition is the appreciation, recognizing and having appreciation for one's own abilities, not your mom's, not your father's, not your children, not anybody that has to do with, not your spouses, not your partners, nothing like that, but really recognizing, yes, love, really recognizing on the inside and appreciating what you have. A lot of times we go deal with this life and we're so appreciative of what everyone does for us or what we get. But a lot of times we don't take time out to be appreciative of what we already own that's on the inside. So I was talking about confidence and confidence. How can I come to a place and not fail when I understand who I am? Listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say I could come to a place and not fail if I'm perfect. I didn't say that I could come to a place and not fail if I have it all together. That's no part of the answer that I said. We can come to a place that we don't fail when we know who we are. That part, I know who I am. And not just knowing who I am, but knowing what I possess, knowing my abilities, having some confidence about myself. Most people that can come to a place to recognize that they cannot fail is the ones that do have confidence. Because what does confidence mean? Hey, Tony. Hey, love. Hey, Neil. Nell. Hey, love. What does confidence mean? Confidence is that I recognize. There's a little bit of steps in that definition. I recognize my abilities. I recognize what I possess, what I'm carrying. I know what's on the inside. I know where my power is and what it is. Okay, that's the first thing. I recognize my ability, and the second thing is I have appreciation for the abilities that have been given to me. So when they have that great confidence, that true, pure confidence that they have on the inside, I know who I am. I'm in a place I could never fail. How am I saying that I could never fail? Candy, you just said you wasn't perfect. Candy, you just said you ain't got it all together. How you telling me you can't fail? Because I'm not in this alone. I'm not in it by myself. I know this is my life. I know it's what I'm dealing with. I know it's what I have to face. But guess what? I'm not in this by myself. I'm not in this thing by myself because I know who I am. I know who's attached to me. I know who's connected to me because I know who I am. I know my lineage. I know who my father is. The Most High is my father and he is always with me. So I'm not in this by myself. It doesn't matter if my mom was a deadbeat. It don't really matter if my daddy was. It doesn't matter if my mother was never here. It doesn't matter if my dad was not here. It doesn't matter what happened to my grandma, grandfather, great-great-grandma, great-great-granddad. I'm going to go down of the lineage of my family, the generations of my family. It doesn't matter about those choices. It doesn't change the power that has been passed to me. Make peace with those wounds, heal the generational hurt. Come on, because we have the ability to. Come on now. I have the ability not because my mother did it and it didn't pass to me. I do because the source, when we go all the way down the line, the lineage, the very first source of the generation is my father. The creator is my father. So he has passed down some things to me to uproot some curses, to uproot some generational curses, some generational lies, to uproot some things that people believe, that I had believed at one point, that it was connected to who I am. You know, the people I love and the people that I deal with, you know, they don't have it all together and they seem like they always fail. So I'm in the same book because I'm just like my father, and I'm just like my mother, or I'm just like my parents. So it's going to happen for me, no? I talked about having real, pure, sincere confidence in who you are. I mean, overwhelming confidence in who you are. When you do, you understand who you are. You understand where you come from. I don't just come from my mother and father. Yeah, that's in the physical form. But honey, spiritually, come on, Shay. So I know who my father is. But the abilities that my father gave me is not contingent on what people feel that I have. It's not contingent on what I have naturally. That part. Well, when I'm talking, see us, brother, welcome, love, welcome, King. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about in the spirit. When I say what I have gotten, I'm talking about in the spirit. My father in the spirit has given me these abilities to have power over my life, over the things that are in my life. I have confidence in who he made me to be, not being perfect. Do you see? That's why I said we can never fail. I didn't say we can never fail because we're perfect. I didn't say that. I said we can never fail because of our creation and who our creator is. I have come to a place in my life. The reason why I feel like I will never fail is because I recognize God in the battle. I recognize the Most High in the battle. OJ, come on. Who am I talking to? Come on, Juicy. I can't fail. High Priestess, welcome, love. Welcome, for Queen. I can't fail because I see how evident he is in my life. I know that he's with me. I know it's not just me. Come on, Juicy. I know it's not just, I can't fail because I got somebody that's on my side that can control all things. I can't fail as long as I'm living in him and serving him. Come on, Tony. Come on, Juicy. As long as I'm living in him and serving him, it can't happen. You know why? Because he can't fail. And if he can't fail and he is in me, then I can't fail. If what I am and all that I do is according to his purpose, then all that I do will work. Come on, King and Queens. Y'all feel with D? Y'all hear what I'm saying? We got to take a moment, and Juicy had just put this up. Listen, Juicy just put this up, and she said, peace be still. We got to take a moment to calm down because our arms are getting so tired because we keep trying to fight. We're getting headaches because we're trying to figure out plans to beat the enemy. These things is what's going on. We're getting weary because we're using and exhausting all that we are, our energy and everything that we have, in trying to win this war and trying to win this battle. So you got to take a seat, King, take a seat, Queen, and calm down, and God will get some glory out of this. Let him show himself strong. Let him be able to show godly, hey love, hey Morel, let him show himself strong in the very thing you feel like you're gonna die in. Let him show himself strong on the battlefield. Let him show himself strong in the face of your enemies. Will you allow him to let your enemies be your footstool? Will you allow him to let your enemies sit at the table and be your footstool? Will you allow him to fulfill the promises that have been spoken over your life? We are becoming so practical in this life because we deal with man all the time that we don't recognize God anymore. We don't recognize the Most High. We deal with things in logic. We make decisions logically. We do all these things because we deal with man so much. And a lot of us don't have that relationship with him, that we're reminded that he is there, that we start dealing with logic so much that we feel like we can figure it out. We feel like we can do it. And it doesn't matter. I believe God gave us shape. Yes, love. It doesn't matter what we're going through. It doesn't matter what we're dealing with. But what we deal with man so much, and we some of us have lost our relationship with the Most High. We don't seek him. We don't talk to him enough. We don't hear his voice or ask him for guidance. Tell him to protect, whatever it may be. We don't have this relationship with him. We have more relationship with humans, with man, than we do with our Father. We have more relationships with humans, with man, than we do with our Father, the Most High. And so what it puts us in a place for us to become so practical that we don't recognize that God is here, that the Most High is around. And we start viewing things logically. And when we view things logically, we come to a place to say, you know what, I ain't perfect. There's somewhere that I'm going to fail. But when we understand that life isn't logical, there is things that happen in our life that defy logic. It is not, hey, Mr. Hey, love, man, baby, welcome. There is, come on, Juicy. There is things in this life that man's law isn't the final say, but the Most High's law is the final say. He has the last word. There is nothing that can trump him. So if he decides that it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done, honey. I'm telling you, King, if the world is saying that you shouldn't be free, whatever it is, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, LNS, hey love, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if the world is telling you that you shouldn't be free, but the Most High says different, it's gonna change. I'm gonna tell you something, Queen. If you are, come on, Juicy, if you are waiting, Queen, for something, whether you want to be free mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, the world is saying no. They don't have the last say. Whatever the Most High wants to happen will happen. So this is why I know life can't be logical, because the world could be saying no, but he could say yes. And who is he? The Most High. I told you, King and Queens, that the Most High spoke to me and he said, open a school, Candy. Open a dental school. I was working and he just said to me, I dealt with an interview with someone, and as soon as the interview was done, I went in my office and I sat down, and he spoke to me and he said, open a dental school. And you know what? I had probably over 50 reasons why I can't. I'm talking to somebody, and this is for someone. For him to have me bring this up. I had 50 reasons why it won't work. I had over 50 reasons why it can't happen. I had over 50 excuses of why there's no way that could ever come to pass. But you know what I did? Because of my relationship with him, I listened to what he had to say without questioning anything. and I decided to move, and right there at my computer, I created my LLC. And then it took me 2.5 years to get my license for my school. 2.5 years of work, 2.5 years of paperwork, 2.5 years of approvals, denials. Not just hard, not just no's, but I'm talking to you, king and queens. I'm talking about Renwick, K Love, hard no's. Mark, K Love. Prince, come on now. I'm talking about hard no's. I'm talking about no that they give you that you just give up. That's what I'm talking about. Not just 1 or 2 or 3, but I had about 8 to 9 hard no's that it's like, this is too much. So it took me 2.5 years to get my license. Or should I say maybe 1.5 years it took me to get this license, and I got it. And I got this license, and I'm here to talk to somebody. The place that I live in, the state that I live in, said that I could not have this thing. I'm talking to somebody. When I speak of there's things in life, we can't be so logical all the time, because he has the last say. There's things in our lifetime that we're going to go through that's going to defy logic. How did that happen? It could be an enemy that set you up, and then when it came in, they had everything, all the ducks lined in a row, but when it came to the final result, it didn't work. There's something, how? That's not possible. I got all the evidence. They should be put away. This is not right. There's something going on. I have everything to persecute, like everything, and it does not work, because there's things in this life that will defy logic, because the Most High can do as He pleases. Let's talk about it. We're so quick to start bringing up excuses on why, how small, how big is your God? Are you telling me that your felony charge and the charges that you have on your record are bigger than your God? I'm a little bit confused. Are you telling me that you being a single father, a single mother is bigger than your job, than your God? Are you telling me that what you have experienced, the trauma in your life, the pain that you have experienced from molestation, from physical, sexual abuse, is bigger than your God? Come on, Renwick. I'm talking to somebody. Come on, creative. The problem is we go around, king and queens, and everything we deal with, we magnify bigger than Him. And not that it is bigger than Him, but in our perception, the very thing that we're dealing with is bigger than our God. When we come to a place, greater is He that is in me than he who is in the world. Come on, Unraveler. That's what we're talking about. Oh, do we? So we can say it though. Come on, Unraveler. Come on, the help. Come on, Juicy. We can say it though. We can declare it in the atmosphere, but do we believe it? Because every time we deal with something comes across the table, we whip out the magnifying glass and we make that thing bigger than Him. I know it. Come on, Unraveler, because we all been there, that we heard them. Oh, I could quote the scriptures, but do you live it, honey? Baby, do you live it? That's what I'm asking you. It's not enough for me to memorize something, because I could go to school to memorize stuff. Come on, creative. I could take my time and memorize books and memorize scripture. I can memorize anything. Recipes, what a speech somebody said, a quote, a poem. I can memorize a lot of things. I have a great ability. I trust Him with my heart. Right. Come on now. I lean not to my own understanding. Come on now. Listen, I don't just speak scripture, I live it. How about that one? I don't just speak it, I live it. Enough with people saying greater is he who is in me. And I'm not talking about Unraveler. I'm talking about the people out there that have every single excuse about things that they need to accomplish, or a greater level they have to receive, or a bigger devil that they have to conquer. Every single excuse in the book to say why they can't do it, but yet you can tell me on the other end, greater is he who is in me. Honey, you're really confused right now. We are the living word. Yes, living word. All my actions and everything I do speaks the holy word. It speaks the Bible. My life is scripture. What I do and how I handle myself is scripture. Welcome forward, Lily. Yes, get into it. Come on, creative. Lily, welcome forward, my beautiful queen. I love you. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Everything that I do, I live and breathe scripture. Don't quote something to me and what you're quoting to me doesn't match your life, honey. Don't do it. Because there ain't no substance. He says we know them how. He says we know them how. We know them by the fruit that they bear. That's what it says. How do we know them? Why are you telling what you mean? I quote the scripture. What you mean? No, honey, your life doesn't match it. That part. Well, how do you know my life doesn't match it? Where's your fruit? I know this is going to get a little bit extra for some people, and some people might feel like this is a little bit too religious, but this ain't got nothing to do with religion, honey. This has to do with spirituality. That's what it has to do with. It has to do with where we came from, who our Father is. Welcome forward. Come through, Jay. Love you. Love DMX. Hey, love. That's what it has to do with. That's what we're talking about. I'm doing it. I live it. And a lot of times, come on, Toxic. A lot of times it's too hard for people because when you talk about this stuff, Candy, you make me face some accountability. And today's not the day. I don't want to deal with accountability. I don't want to deal with feeling guilty. I don't want to deal with I just want to have a nice day. Toxic, hey, love. Huh. The fruit of our labor. Come on, Juicy. Who am I talking to? How many of you king and queens out there that are listening deal with that? I want you to put a 1 in the comments. If you know somebody that they just don't never want to take accountability. You know, if I got to take accountability, then I got to grow. And growing takes effort. I don't really want to deal. I'm fine where I am. How many of you king and queens know someone that is just fine where they are? I don't want to grow. I'm good. I'm settled. When people say settle, I cringe. Come on, I cringe when people say settle. Come on, sunshine. I'm settled. Oh, are you happy in your marriage? That's the answer. I'm settled. Not yes or no. I'm settled. I'm okay. No. What? What do you mean settled? That's not an answer. Okay, let me keep going. Okay, so you say that's what you live. We got to get out of a place of having excuses. Because like I said, I could have had all the excuses in the book and had valid reason too. The law says I cannot. But how did it happen? Because the Most High decided that it was. He declared something and it was up to me, my decision, because of my choice of free will, to heed what he had to say or to not. All right. We're talking about failure. Never. That's what it means. That's what the title is failure. Oh no, not in Candy World. Not in my Kings and Queens world. Oh no, I can't fail because I know who I am. If I know who I am, then I know who my Father is. And when I know who my Father is, I know that greater is he who is in me, that he's inside of me. And when I know my Father, I know that he cannot fail. And if he can never fail and he is in me, that means as long as I do his will, I could never fail. That's how we could come to a place to never fail. Failure, never. Because I know who I am. I know who I'm connected to. The Most High is my Father. When I know who I am, I know I cannot fail. Because if I'm saying that he is in me, then I'm saying that I can't fail because he can't fail. And as long as I listen and discern and follow his word, I can't fail. You know, and a lot of us are going to say, you know, Candy, you're talking about never failing, but, you know, I make mistakes all the time. When we understand, again, when we understand who we are and how we were created, I was created to make mistakes, so that means I fail. If the Most High made me perfectly, and in that perfection I am supposed to make mistakes, there's no way when I make mistakes I can fail because he didn't design it that way. Every time I make a mistake, I learn from it. So that means I grow. So that means I get greater. So that's not failure. I'm winning. When I allow the mistakes to overpower my mental, when I allow them to make me feel guilty or make me feel a way about the person that did it to me or me making the mistake, that's when I allow the mistake to have power. But that mistake doesn't have power where I feel like I am a failure. If I learn and assess what I've been through, welcome, come through, Balboa, hey love. If I assess the situation and I see where I could learn from and I grow from there, then I don't feel guilty about the mistakes that I made. I take accountability for them. I said I don't feel guilty, but I didn't say just because we shouldn't feel guilty, we shouldn't be in a place to not take accountability for it. Come on, Unraveler. Let's not make this so sweet and candy filled, even though my name is Candy World. Sometimes things are bitter. Sometimes we got to recognize that, you know what, I had a part in this. I made this mistake. I'm going to take some accountability for what happened. That way, I'm going to learn from what I did. And then when it comes through next time, I will be a little bit better. Come on, Unraveler and Nini. So again, we become so practical in this life, dealing with man all the time, that we don't recognize God anymore. Which is a crippling mistake. It handicaps us because we try to do everything and we're not perfect. We got our hands in the pot trying to be God and we're just not. There's no way, it doesn't matter in our whole lifetime what we learn, what we do, we will ever be like him. And when we forget about him, our life looks like that. Ooh, come on now. My king and queens, when we forget about who he is and the Most High and what he represents, our life reflects that very thing. He can't do what he needs to do in your life. Ah, the love, Unraveler and Nini. Yay. He can't do what he needs to do in your life if you're not allowing him to be there. I said it's not evident in your life that the Most High is here and around because you're not allowing him to dwell there. We don't make room for him, but we want our lives to be all together. We don't consider him as priority, but yet we want him to act like he's God in our life. I mean, who am I talking to? I could give you an example of that. I could give you an example of the same thing that we're asking him to do for us. When we was in relationships, we was upset with our significant others because they wasn't there for us like we was. But yet you're demanding things from me, but not giving anything. Whoa, who am I talking to, king and queens? Does that sound familiar? Was you ever in a relationship before that you gave all you was, but they give nothing, but they're demanding as if they're giving 100? I mean, I've been there before, and I'm just gonna be a little bit transparent. I've been there before a couple of times in a couple relationships. Forget this one. In a couple relationships, I gave everything that I am, and they come through demanding some things, and they haven't put anything on the table, honey. You're looking for the investment when I invested in everything. You didn't take part of any part of this investment. Come on, come through, truth. You didn't take part in any of this investment, then the business starts booming and you want your share. These are the relationships we was in, King and Queens. Am I not being real? Is this not, we gave everything that we are. We gave blood, sweat, and tears, our last coat, the last piece of clothing on our back, our last energy. Come on, truth. Come on, Balboa. I gave everything that I have to give. You have it. And they come through investing nothing, giving nothing, and demanding the same thing that we want that has given all. Ooh, come on, creative. Come on, Balboa. Truth. Zaya, hey, love. I'm not understanding. Left feeling empty. Come on, truth. They show up to the table when the business offer goes through and you get your first profits. They show up to the table looking for their share. The phone is overheating. They go to the table looking for their share. Ain't put in anything, but feel like they deserve it. Yes, they do. Early on time, with bells on ringing, before you even got there. And the reason why you're late is because you're still handling the business. You're seeing and attending to the business. You come in late because you was working in the business, and they show up early with bells on, ready to give their name. My name is such and such, and I'm here. You know, ready. Come on, creative. Come on, Balboa. Ready. And you ain't even invest a dime. But guess what? You know what? They can show up. Ooh, this part is going to get deep for a little bit of us. You know what? They can show up because you're connected to them. They can show up because when you pull up, you recognize them and they recognize you. They can show up because you said that that's your husband. Oh, whoa, that part. They can show up because you put a connection to, you said that was your wife. But isn't that your fiance? You said that he does. There's something, you see what I mean? They show up feeling entitled, yet they didn't invest nothing, but we have allowed them to wear the title that they have not fulfilled the description to, and we've been okay with it. So when they come to reap what it has, to come to collect some part of it, we have to take accountability for the reason why they're there. Ooh, truth. It really feels good when we go like this, right? Bow, 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 bow. Zude pointing all the fingers. It does feel good. Yeah, nigga, okay, you show up. I'm late because I'm working there. You haven't stepped a foot a day in this business, honey. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Well, yes, it does, because legally you're married. Ouch. And legally you said you was with this person, and what his is yours, and yours is his, and what's hers is yours, and what's yours is hers. There's a reason why they're showing up. They feel entitled to something because somewhere along the lines, come on, High Priestess, somewhere along the lines, the invitation was given. The invitation was given to the empty thing, the empty person. Come on, the one that doesn't give all. Welcome forward, Joe Bear. Woo, Jesus. I don't know, that was for somebody, because I just feel it. I feel it. Left him in the past. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that part. You know what's funny is we begin to, when something like that happens to us, I'm going to say this, King and Queens. When something like that happens to us, that's when revelation hits us. Right there. When they show up with the bells on trying to give their name. To a table that they didn't invest a dime in, or they didn't invest anything in, not even energy. and you have given all to it, and you invested everything that you are in this thing. But when it's time for the profit, when it's time to collect, they showing up with bells on. Why are they showing up with bells on, king and queens? Because in life, that's what they're used to doing. They're used to you giving all, cooking, cleaning, paying bills and all that, and they do nothing and you're okay with it. But they still get their meal. Oh, absolutely. I woke up. Come on, Unraveler. This is what I'm saying. A revelation came to me when it happened to me in my relationship. Oh, they still got the meal, right? AD, welcome 4K. They still got the meal, right? The bills were still paid even though they didn't do nothing. They still reap the benefits because we allowed them to not do it because we still did it. So what makes this any different than what the life you've been living so far? So I'm gonna get a little bit deeper because we're talking about the revelation, and and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm talking about it because I'm talking by experience. I'm talking by experience. So me being there while this person shows up that never invested nothing, a revelation comes to me that this business should have never happened until I cut off all the dead weight. This person shouldn't be allowed to show up to take anything from me because I should have been cut off the dead weight. They shouldn't even have access to even try to make it to the table. They shouldn't even have an address to show up with the bells on. Do you hear me? The connection, I was just told this on Friday night. Come on, creative. Why does it feel like this life is so hard? Why am I living for the Most High and doing everything right, and it feels like nothing ever happens for me? Well, honey, he is not going to let you get something and leeches attached to it. He's not going to let holes be in your bag when he gives you your blessing. He's not going to let it slip away because you deserve what he's trying to give you. And the longer you're connected to the things that you don't deserve, the longer your blessings will be held from you. Tony! Tony! Yes, Tony. Oh, yes! What? Double? Tony, thank you, love. You're always so good to me. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. What? Did y'all hear what I just said? Gigi, hey love, welcome love. Elegant. Did y'all hear that? Tony, I love you. Did y'all just hear what I said? He won't allow the blessing to be released because you got holes in your bag, honey. My kings, my queens, you got holes in your bag. He ain't letting it go. You got to cut off that dead weight. You know, like I said, I stood in a position and was confused about it because you didn't do anything. Why are you here? But the thing is like, yeah, why are they here? Why are you still dealing with them? Why do they know where to show up to? This should have been cut off from the beginning. You're dealing with something that should have never happened in the first place. I'm sweating so bad. I didn't turn my air on. Okay. All right. We're going to keep on it. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving because we're talking about failure. Never. Never. Come on, Gigi. Come on, creative. Failure, never. Nope. No, I can't fail because of who I am. And who is mine. That part. My Father. The Most High. It won't work. So when we become so practical, living in this man state, dealing with people and this and that, we come to a place that we don't recognize the Most High anymore. And this is a crippling mistake. Because we play God and we try to make decisions and do things. And it won't always work. It won't always work because we haven't even been created that way. Where I am weak, he is made strong. So if I keep fighting a battle and I get weak, somebody is supposed to step in, and that's him. But we keep fighting the battle, and as we get weak, we keep trying. Why? Because we want it perfect. We got to do it right. I got to get this together. I gotta, me, always in the pot, always playing God. That's me. That's me. Always everything got to be perfect. This 1, 2, 3, ABC, everything got to be right. Everything got to be my way. Everything. I'm strong. You know how much I accomplished. You know what I've been through. You know what I survived. Listen, as great as your destiny, king and queens, you ain't got all the strength in the world to help you carry yourself to get there if you don't learn anything. And if you're not willing to make mistakes, like I said, you're not going to grow. When we make mistakes, we grow. And when we grow, we learn. And as we learn, we get strengthened to carry us to the destiny that we're going. But if we keep trying to be perfect, we'll never learn anything. If we don't allow him to show himself strong in our life, what's the purpose of him being ours? The spiritual dynamic to winning is knowing your Father. That's what that is. You have to remember that, oh, Candy, so I always win. Anything I do, I'll never fail. So the business that I want, Candy, I'm going to sit here and, it's going to happen for me because you said I don't fail. Faith without works is dead. Faith is an action word. No, honey, you can't sit there and cross your legs and wait for it to be handed to you on a platter. You got to put some effort in it. He asks you to try your very best with a good heart, and that's when he will come in and align the stars for you. That's where it comes in, and success is there. Faith without works is dead. It's not just going to be handed to you, because you know what? When we get things for free, most of the time we don't even care about it. But if I saved for 5 years, $500 a month to get this car. This is my car. I take care of it. It's an oil change. I make sure it's shining. I make sure it gets detailed. There's a lot of things that go into where we invest energy in it. And when we come to a place in life, king and queens, to understand how valuable our energy is just to begin with, then we understand if I invested all this energy into saving and earning this money to buy this thing, then there is more value into what I purchased. Come on, truth. And that's exactly with him. That's what faith is. When you have faith and don't do nothing, nothing happens. But when you have faith and you do something and you move and you put some effort in it and some energy in it, you see things begin to happen. You see doors begin to open. Things that people said will never happen to you start happening to you. People say something comes in the mail. You can't believe there's things and doors that are open. A lot of times he's not there when we want him to be, but he is always on time. He said the battle is mine, it's not yours. So when it comes to the part of the victory, when it's which side wins, he wins and he will show up. But sometimes we have to be on that battlefield until he gets there. Do we have faith enough in who he is to trust that he's going to come to win? That part. Do we have faith in him enough to know that he's gonna come through? When we say, honey, come through, he's gonna come through for me. It's gonna happen for me. Do we have that faith? You gotta remember, king and queens, he doesn't always show up the same. Come on, Steph. He doesn't always show up the same. Last time you prayed for him, he answered. This time he sent someone to give you a message. Now the next time you see a sign speaking to you saying patience, or a sign that says move forward, something, he talks in different ways. Our God is not always the same. Why would we want him to? He is great, he is extraordinary, and he does what he does. We don't always expect him to come the same way. Be careful of saying, you know what, I'm just going to watch and pray. Be careful of always saying, yeah, you know, I'm just going to pray and hear him in prayer. You're putting him in a box. How, again, maybe I should have switched the title and say, how big is your God? Again, how big is your God? Does he always come from Telegram? Does he always come with a text message? I mean, come on. How many ways can we contact each other, but you're not allowing him to contact you in all ways that he can? Why are we putting restrictions on him? No, honey. If you prayed and you don't hear an answer, maybe he's going to answer you in a different way. Are you open to that? Are you still standing or sitting or kneeling by your bed waiting to hear him say something every single night for 2 years? I know people that said, I prayed about it. And I said, well, nothing has happened in 2 years. Yeah, I prayed about it. I'm going to trust God. No, but what else are you doing? Faith is an action word. You know what, honey? I could pray over an application. I could get an application and pray over it and never fill it out. Does that mean I'm going to get the job because God believes that I deserve? What? Come on, Jay. Come on, Steph. Faith without works is dead. That's the word. Faith is an action word. Who am I talking to? Come on. I'm telling you, when I hear people, I've been praying for 2 years and he's going to answer me. What have you done? What action have you done but pray? Did you go fill out the application and hand it in and believe in faith that he was going to move for you? Did you believe in faith who he is, that he has your best interest, that he wants you to have what you deserve, that if you didn't get the job, there's something better out there for you? That job isn't good enough for you. It's all about perspective, king and queens. If I am rejected by something, it is God telling me that there's something better for me. That part. But it's the best, Candy. It's the highest position in my job. Well, maybe. Come on, trucker. Papi Chulo, hey, love. It's the highest position in my job. I've been working here for 15 years. What do you mean, Candy? What is the best? This is the best. This is the best position in my job. I've been working here for 15 years and this is the highest position. So if I can't have this position, well, what if he's speaking to you to open your own business? There's nothing higher than you being your own boss. What if he's telling you something else? Do you have a relationship with him that you hear what he has to say? When rejection comes, wait for the communication, my king and queens. There's something better out there for you. Continue to move. Come on, truth. Faith is an action word. Move. Come on, Steph. Yes, love. Trucker, thank you, love. Faith is an actual word. Move. I know we started out this motivation saying the only way that I could never fail is if I know who I am. Because when I know who I am, I know he lives in me, and greater is he who is in the world. So nothing and no one can beat me because they cannot beat him. And as long as I follow his will and do what he says and have a relationship with him, I will always win. Oh, but the key word in that I said, king and queens, is relationship. Do you have a relation? Come on, truth. Come on, trucker. Come on, boss. Do you have a relationship with him? That he can tell you why and where you need to go since that very thing rejected you and wasn't good enough for you? Are you listening to him to find out where the better is? Ooh. Are you listening? Do you have a relationship with him that you're finding out where the better is? Because you're hearing, your ear is keen to his voice. That's what he's saying. Oh, no, honey, that wasn't good for you. Yeah, it is the best that you could have right now, but it won't carry you when you're in your destiny. and love that's more important. So I can't let you have this, because the very thing that's good for you, it will be good for you for 2 years, but when you get in a place to have your own, it's going to come against you, because it's going to be jealous of what you have. It's going to envy you. It's going to be it's going to be it's going to come against, it's going to work against you. It'll be good for 2 years, but when you walk in all you have, it's going to be a little bit too much for them. So you can't. Come on, king and queens, who am I talking to? No, I want to know. Come on, Jade. I want to know what's for my destiny, for my divinity. I don't know. I don't want to just know what's for my right now. Come on, Truth. Come on, Juicy. I ain't here for the right now. I'm here for my divinity. Where you at? That part. If it's not working, then I know it can't work for my destiny, because the Most High said I will have all the desires of my heart. And the key thing to that is, when we really have a relationship with him, our desires are his desires. It's not all about us anymore. Who am I talking to? That's why there was a place and time in our life where we didn't love ourselves and he loved us. Who am I talking to? Our desires become his desires, and no longer do we care about popping bottles every weekend, dropping 1,700. I'm talking about my life now. Every week, working 3 jobs, making 120,000 a year at the age of 21, just doing whatever I want to do, repo my car, pay it later, just because I'm too lazy to pay the bill, but I got all this money in the bank account. That's how I was living, king and queens. It didn't matter to me. Nothing mattered but me getting instant gratification. I was so lazy, I chose not to move my car 2 minutes before I get a parking ticket every single morning. That added up to $1,500 worth of New York City parking tickets that I chose to pay every 2 months, because I was being lazy and didn't feel like getting up, because I just had the money to throw out. I'm talking to someone, king and queens. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's all a reason. My desire was for a queen that was less than who I was. I'm not even going to say I didn't even have a purpose at that time. I didn't know who I was. I didn't love myself enough. I didn't understand. But when you start understanding who you are, your desires begin to be his, because he desires you to have your best. And when you understand that he has your best interest, the desires that he wants for you begin to be the desires that you want for yourself. Come on, Steph. Come on. Come on, Truth. So my desires is not desiring instant gratification no more. My desires are that I will see his glory. I will see his glory manifested and evident in my life. I surrender to God's will. Come on. And when we surrender to his will and do his will, then we fulfill the desires of our heart, which is his. Come on, Steph. Come on, Balboa. So when the thing rejects me, I don't get upset anymore, because I'm not seeking for what's for my right now. I'm not seeking what's best for my right now. I'm seeking for the one that designed my destiny. I'm looking towards my divinity. Why I was created and purposed, where and how I could show the most glory to be evident in all I do from him. Where's that road? Come on, which choice is that one, King? And I mean King of the Kings. That's what I was talking about. Which choice, King? Most High, Father, Baba. Which choice is yours? Rejection is telling you that it's not good enough for you. That's what rejection is. Yes, queen. Rejection is protection. That part. Come through, high priestess. Hey, wow. You see what I mean? I'm going to trust the one that has this life figured out because he made it for me. I'm going to trust him. And when I make decisions and I feel like I'm going the right way and something rejects me, I don't get upset because I actually, and I'm so real with you, king and queens, if there's something I really, really desire and I go for it and it doesn't work and it's not for me, sometimes you gotta, that's why you have to have a relationship with him, because sometimes there's something that you go for, it doesn't work, you get rejected, but he still wants you to try so he could show who he is, so he can show you what he does. I'm gonna do what I do. That's what he, sometimes we go for something and we get rejected and he says, wait, honey. You know, when daddy comes through, baby girl, sit down, baby boy, sit down. I got this. That, you know, daddy comes through. Come on, Juicy. Yes, love. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Wait. They rejected you. Who rejected you? You know, when the parent gets upset, wait. They said you ain't good enough for what? You ain't good enough for the reward? Who says so? Where's the teacher at? I'm going to the school. What time they open? Okay? Our relationship has to be so real with him that we need to be able to determine if the rejected thing is something we still go for, if the rejected thing is not good enough for us. Because I can't just keep lying around and say, well, they said no. I say this all the time with my dental school, that he spoke to me out of nowhere and said, open a dental school, which we was talking about earlier. I had 100,000 no's, all the way to the point that the day that I said enough is enough, I can't do this no more. 2.5 years later, come on. And 2.5 years later, I said, I can't. I sat in my car, pulled up at my friend's house that I still was sleeping on a cot in her family room from the breakup of my ex. I pulled up in the driveway and I said, Lord, I can't do this no more. That was the last no. I had that 9 to 10 hard no's in those 2.5 years where I had to fight. Because I know he said to me, open a dental school. And I said, he can't say something to me and it's just not. You know, sometimes we want things and we go out and do it. But if he specifically declared it, how can they keep saying no? Like, he wants to show himself strong. So, okay, he shows himself strong, right? Okay, fine. All right. So, but something has to happen. It has to come to a point where it works. Come on, Balboa. And it was 2.5 years and I tried, but so much time, money, and into this thing that it was enough. Enough is enough. They said no. They sent the email. They said no, absolutely no, we can't do it. This and that. Again, after all this work, paperwork, they say no, work on it for 2 months now. They say, okay, let's go to the next. No. Then they say no. Then they say yes. Then they say no. Then they say no, and then you put this. Okay, we'll take this, but okay, this is wrong. Now you can take that. All these. I knew that I was spent. I said enough is enough. I said Most High. I took time out to talk to them. I said, they said no. Maybe this wasn't it. I can't do it anymore. And you know what? I went in the house, and maybe some of you guys know that I told this testimony before, but I went in the house and I saw my friend, and she came and she was like, she asked me out of nowhere, because I lived there at the time, and she said, how's the school going? And she hadn't talked to me about the school in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I know it was him, and I said, you know what? That's it. I said, that's it, Phyllis. I'm not doing it. I prayed about it and I can't do it no more. They said no again and I ain't got nothing. And, you know, it is what it is. And she said, okay, you know, this and that. And then she went in the kitchen. She grabbed my mail and she handed me the mail. And I was sitting there and I was going through the mail. And I seen something from the state of New York, the Board of Education. But I had received the email that said no. So when I received the email, they always send a hard copy. So I said, oh, that's what they said no with. And something said open it. It was a spirit on the inside. And I said, okay, I'm going to add it to the whole pile of papers that say no. And when I opened that letter, it was my license. I could feel it now. It was my license. They gave it to me already. And what they were saying, no, they already approved. It was already done. And this is the key thing, King and Queens. My school license was sitting on that table for about 5 days. It was sitting on that table for 5 days. And I could feel the Most High just shaking his head like, girl, all you needed to do was open your mail. I know it's too much now. And I couldn't believe that I felt in my heart like I had to tell the Most High, like, I can't do this no more. Now it has hit the point that I don't have it left. You know, I don't got nothing left to spend. And he's like, I know. That's why I gave it to you. And it was crazy. Yes, all praises to him. It was crazy that that thing was sitting. She said, Candy. Well, what I did was when I seen the license, I stood up and I said, Phyllis, I screamed her name. She's like, what? And I ran in the kitchen. I was like, Phyllis, I got it. She's like, what? I was like, the license for the school, I got it. It was in the mail. And we screamed and we praised and we hugged and we screamed and we cried and we prayed and we just, worshiped him and just gave him all the glory. And I said, God was like, this knucklehead, if you don't open your mail, I know you're done. It's time. Here's your reward. You listened to my words. You heed to what I had to say. You didn't care. You pressed through adversity. Every mountain that came, you knew I was going to move it for you because I spoke something, and you pushed, Queen, to get what I'm asking you to get. This is what I mean by the desires of my heart. The desires of my heart was not to be the first African American to have a dental school in New York State. That was not the desire of my heart. But my desire was that he to have the glory in whatever and whichever he wants to do in my life. And it wasn't until I happened that I got the license and I opened my school and I had my first class, and I recognized that it was the desire of my heart. That's what I mean, King and Queens. He knows what we need even before we need it. He knows what our greatest desires are. He knows what our destiny is. And what I'm trying to say is sometimes when we're rejected by the very thing that we want, it does mean that there's something better out there for us. We are not to waste our energy crying over, stressing over things of rejection. He will never have us waste our energy like that. But when we have this close relationship with him, that he puts something in our spirit to say, this is yours. Oh, then I know I got to fight for it, honey, because guess what? I recognize God in the battle, and I also recognize that the battle isn't mine. I'm going to have to fight. I'm going to have to show up. Faith without works is dead, but what I believe is that he is real, and I believe that he has the victory. And it's not about me getting the victory. It's about him using me to get his glory. It's not about me. It's not about me getting the glory. It's about him using me to show his. How about that? That's what it's about. That's how real he is, and how real and evident that taste and see that the Lord is good. And that's how real and evident it is. He is in my life, and he will do the same for you. He's been ready. Are you? You know, I say that all the time. He's been ready. Are you? I'm not ready yet, Candy. I got to get some things together. Honey, you will never get it together, King. And you will never get it together, Queen, because you wasn't designed to be perfect. You ain't going to get it together. I wasted, that's quote unquote, years of my life saying, I'm not going to be saved until I get myself together. Until I finally recognize it ain't going to happen without him, because we're not whole without him. In my weakness, he is made strong. So the holes he fills. When you're looking at me, King and Queens, you're looking at something that's whole. I'm not broken because he lives in me. I can't be broken because he lives in me. And when we recognize that, we can never fail. And the last thing I'm going to say to you, King and Queens, in order for us to be able to come to a place to never fail, we must have an encounter with God. You must, king and queen, have an encounter with him. The word says, not your works alone, lest any man should boast. This is not what I do. I know, y'all know, every time y'all give me Candy, your motivations, Candy, all praises to the Most High. Yes, I am the willing vessel. Yes, I live so that I can hear him clear. I live, hey angel, hey love, I live so there's no hiccups. I live so he can speak to me and speak through me. I sacrifice my life and instant gratification and things that I could have for a time being to live in his will. I desire his glory. And that's why I'm able to do what I do, but it's because of him I am able. And how do we get there? We get there, king and queens, because you got to have an encounter with him. You have to have an encounter with him. Our encounter is made up by us believing in who he is. So much so that we act on it. Having faith, so much so that we do.